All right, so we showed Marcus Semien. Carlos, have you ever been in a slump like that? Were you a slow starter or a fast starter to this?
No, a slow starter many times. It was until later. You know how important getting off the tracks is? I mean, it's so important to get off to a good start. It's very difficult to start off slow, which I was there many times, and then try to rescue your season. Because that's the way we see it. We're like, man, how am I going to get out of this slump? I can go 4 for 4, and I'll still be hitting, well below, 250, 230, 220. Yeah. How low can you go? So it's very hard to get your mind right. The one thing I noticed about Marcus is the fact that he was late most of the beginning of the season, and he's making this adjustment now to get to that fastball because he was fouling that fastball off.
Yeah, let's take a look.
And missing. Let's check it out because he got to some fastballs yesterday very nicely.
Oh, absolutely.
We know we're looking at one of the best players in baseball last year, right, with the numbers that he put up. But look at the fastball speed. 93 inside, which when you know that you're late on the fastball, then you get those swings in the off-speed pitches. But this elevated heater, he's having really a tough trouble with, right? 96 up top of the zone. That's a tough pitch to hit, but he was giving himself a better chance last season. This year, he seems to be late, just a click off. Now, had a great day yesterday. It's 92 inside, and he's able to get to it. I still think he can give himself a little bit more time. I mean, he had to bring his hands close to his body, which is still good hitting, but he's slightly late. Now, the closer he gets to getting in cadence with this pitches, inside fastballs, he's going to continue to perform. This is a fastball low and in. Let's check this swing out. Now, let's pause it at contact, because what I want to show you is this. At contact, we're going to pause it. Now, this is a home run. This is a great swing. Now, when you look at the front arm, how it's slightly bent, that's almost a full extension on that swing. He's as close to being 100% on time as I've seen him in a while. Now, let's go ahead and play it. And what you'll see is that when he's late, he's got to bring those hands in, right? Which is still good hitting, but give yourself enough time to get that healthy hack at the baseball. So yesterday, I saw healthy swings. I mean, that was locked in. If we could do the same thing here and pause it at contact, there is no obstruction in his mechanics. Boom. Now, this time around, go ahead and pause it right at contact. This time around, look how now there's almost no bend on that front arm.
On the front arm.
Remember the home run before? It was just slightly bent. The one before that was really bent. This one is like perfectly extended on that fastball. Gets to it, gives himself enough time. Let's play it. And when he does that, we know he's got incredible power. So the numbers.
Is it just a matter of starting earlier, or is there something mechanically or something
starting earlier? You just hit the nail right on the head. The thing with that is, sometimes as hitters, we need to be intentional about it because we think we're getting started on time, but we're not. It feels on time, but then the results are not there.
Yeah.
So we almost have to exaggerate a little bit, intentionally start earlier than you think it's reasonable. But look at this.
Man.
Is he making an adjustment? Well, looking at the numbers, these are very telling. Now, we can look at results. Yeah, I mean, it's right there. It's very obvious. But I'm thinking about the process. What has allowed, and that's the question he needs to ask himself. What has allowed this to happen? Why am I getting healthier hacks here? Maybe it's exactly that. As simple as getting started earlier, now he needs to be intentional about repeating this.
Yeah, he is the, where do I have it? Oh,
look at this, look at this.
Listen, look at this. He's the first Major League player since Joe Morgan in '73 to have as many as 7 hits and 3 homers in a doubleheader. I mean, that is a day.
Remember I told you about if I go 4 for 4 today, I'm still not having a good season? Yesterday, he had a day that really shifted his season.
Yeah.
It really did. The numbers look a lot better now. Now, if you see this splits, look at the whiff percentage. These are the fastballs. This proves what I'm trying to tell you, that he was late getting ready at the plate.
That is a stark contrast.
Look at that 2021, 36 home runs. Look at the whiff percentage. Now, look how this first 42 games, look at the whiff percentage of 21%. The slug, this is on fastballs.
Yeah.
Now, we may not know that unless we look at these numbers like, man, I just don't feel right at the plate. But this is telling, if he makes that adjustment, just like we were showing you there on that video, I think he'll be closer to that last 12 games. Just give yourself a little bit more time to hit.
Ronald Acuña Jr. also had a big day at the plate. What have you seen from him?
Well, we know that he's got a lot of fun at the plate. Talking about timing, I'm gonna show you because this is the common thread. Hitters that hit, number one, most important thing, timing. They have pristine timing. Let's play it because this is fun. As you can see, he's not lacking any swag at all. All right,
confidence.
Drip, whatever you want to call it. Confidence.
Yeah.
This kid is out there hunting, gets the fastball, black at that, straight away center field. And then he's going to be like, yeah, it's getting cold in here. You know, let's put on our clothes. But this is the way he hits because he gets ready early gets to the top of that load. Go back on that because I want to show you how he loads. A little bit different than most. By the way, that's the top of his load. If you go back a couple, let's go back a couple. Right, he starts his soft leg kick right there. Let's stop right there. Look at his hands. His hands don't totally cock the bat. You know, they don't go back like that. He's not loaded fully. But this is all he needs. I wouldn't teach this. I would like guys to get a little bit more stretch, but he's just fine. Gets there on time, let it play, and then there's free set of contact. Let's get back at contact. Ooh. One more click, boom. So he's not quite, it's almost as close to 100% as you could be without being 100%. You see that front arm?
A little bit bent.
A little bit bent. So sometimes that tells me he's modifying a little bit, but that's a very strong position. It's not bad, it's a very strong position. Again, your goal is to be 100, play it, 100% on time with your 100% swing, your best swing. Yeah, this is awesome. That confidence that he brings, I mean, he's out there he can't wait to do that to you when he gets up to the plate, right? And it rubs off. It rubs off. I don't know what that is. I maybe saying that was cold, you know? And then when you're early on the fastball and you don't have to rush, Robert, you see off speed a lot better. Let's go back to that swing. Let's go back to that swing because I want to show you how he finishes with two hands, hits through the baseball, almost as if he were punching with that top hand. It's like almost like a punch.
That's full extension of that front arm.
Now, talk about being perfectly on time.
Yeah.
That's 100. That's 100% on time. Look at that lead arm, perfectly extended, no obstruction in his mechanics at all. Very fluid. And where did that ball end up? Go ahead and play.
Unbelievable. And get this, 162 game career average, 41 homers, 30 plus stolen bags, 100 plus RBIs. I mean, just, man.
He's like, man, I just can't understand it.
When he is on a roll like that, he is one of the most electric players and devastating players in Major League Baseball.
Can you believe I used to get fined because I wore a white wristband on my wrist? I got fined. I got a uniform violation.
Did you stop after you got fined?
I had to take it off. They made me take off my white wristband.
Times are changing, honey.
That's right. I mean,
he's got the iron.
He's like Iron Man.
Well,
Red,
he's got
yellow,
everything.
It's all good.
I want my $1,000 back.
That's right.